me that we're live. Let's see here. Live. It says it's upcoming still.
Okay, we're live for 22 seconds.
Okay, well, my internet isn't always the best, and we know this. Sometimes it's just utter garbage.
This one you were saying you had a painting you had to finish for someone for something. Is that what this is?
Yeah, this is for my mom. Um, I was supposed to do a painting for her a while ago of like she likes ocean stuff, but I have never done it. So I thought I'll try to get this done for her. I should send you a picture of the painting my dad did for me. He sent me a picture. He'd done it and finished it and just kind of had an idea. And it's really going through and redoing it a little bit here because it's driving me a little bit crazy.
You wanna you gonna kids were all sick for a while, weren't you?
What?
You and the kids and everybody were kind of sick for a while, weren't you?
Ugh, we've been
But
sick since like the beginning of the year.
yeah, you were saying there's this long stretch of this, like can't get over it.
Even now, I feel like even though, yes, technically speaking, we are not sick anymore. It feels like everybody's still like coughing a little bit, and
Uh,
I don't know. I hate this time of year.
Going around kicking everyone right in the nuts. I got something for a little while, but I never got really bad, but it took a while for it to kind of just completely go away, and then just everyone I knew at work was coming down with something. Got
Yeah, it was like we
bullshit.
get. I think we had both types of flu at one point. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, having a bunch of sick kids is not fun.
It's not fun. But, oh well, that's life, I suppose.
You get for having kids.
Hmm.
What you get for having kids.
Yeah, that's true. Made my decisions. How? Speaking of kids, how are you and the boys doing?
Boys are
Yeah.
good as far as I know. Me and mom keeps it pretty up to date on what's going on.
Yeah. Fair.
My little boy seems to be developing uh, bad case of like anxiety. Like he's always worried that he's always like over apologizing or over correcting and feeling like he did bad. And he's just really anxious about stuff. Like
Oh.
someone was talking about maybe wanting to get him into a therapist to kind of see what they can figure out for him.
Ooh. That's never. It always makes you feel nervous or like just like sad for them.
Yeah. Well, like my little boy, he started doing this thing where he's overly apologetic. Like he understands. He's like I'll get him these very specific kind of granola bars that are picky about. They're a little bit bigger and they got this little wiggly chocolate stripe across the top, and that's just what they locked onto, especially
Yeah.
the youngest one. And it's like that's all he'll eat. Even though I could buy him a box of it's the exact same thing. It's just that they're slightly smaller and without the little squiggly chocolate stripe on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Little fuckers. So and then Walmart stopped carrying them. Then I found them at Target, so I'll go there and buy like 5 boxes of them just to have
Okay.
a pile of them to last a while. And then I'll dole them out in small doses for the little guys.
Yeah.
No, sometimes my little one especially, he wants to do nothing but eat that because he's such a picky eater. So
Yeah.
I have to tell him, no, you can't have that. You need to eat something that's like an actual food. So he's
Mm.
picked up on that. So now he's like, he'll come up to me, he'll be like really quiet. A granola bar, and then he'll instantly go into like, I understand if you don't want me to have one. I know I should have, he just starts doing this like ranting, like, I know, I'm sorry. If you don't want me to have one, it's okay. And I'm like, Andrew,
Ugh.
stop it. And then he feels like he's in trouble because he was just trying to like do his little 9-year-old best to like defeat the situation.
Yeah.
He's trying to be so good about it. I said, Andrew, stop with this begging and or overly apologizing. Just ask me, and the answer might be yes or it might be no. Just, but he's just got this really big, anxious kind of personality that he's like, he doesn't want to be bad boy and he doesn't want to create problems. And blah, blah.
Hmm.
So
That's oh yeah. I feel like he's not alone there. I
I
feel
try to
like
be a little bit more rigid with him. Like, stop doing this nonsense. He'll come up and ask me things and he'll be real quiet. Like, and like and mumble quietly.
uh-huh.
I get mad at him. I'm like, hey, speak up, speak loudly and clearly so I can hear you. Stop like mumbling, trying to teach him to be clear and direct and present, not this like soft, like, because again, he's just trying to avoid like he wants something, but maybe he shouldn't. So he's asking, but he doesn't want to like get daddy mad. And
Hmm.
that gets me mad is when he like does this ridiculous way of asking. So I know you're a mom. I know you dealt with some
Well,
things.
I mean, to be fair, you know, um, it's hard because I I think sometimes this is my opinion. I've noticed this myself. I'll be like, why are you doing this? Like, why aren't you just being upfront and you know but then I have to think, when I was a kid, my parents would make me nervous even if I don't feel like they did anything to make me nervous that I was aware of. And so, I think when you're tinier, you kind of like, oh, aren't really too concerned about upsetting your parents. But then when you get to a certain age, you realize, like, oh, they can be upset with me, or they might not. They might say no, and then, I've lost my chance at something. I don't know.
Uh,
I noticed that I do feel like in the kids I've had that are similar age groups to him, that they kind of start to learn that, oh, somebody might say no, and the almost the fear of the rejection type thing. I
yeah.
don't know. It's tough. I feel like parenting is way tougher than I thought it was gonna be.
I'm just trying to teach my little boy, especially my little one,
Yeah.
ask me a clear, direct question and stop like mumbling about it.
Yeah.
And daddy might say yes, daddy might say no, but just ask.
Yeah.
And don't be like this shy, timid little guy that you're worried that dad's going to get mad at you. Just like it makes it worse when he does that.
Mhm. Hello, Jeffrey. Good day.
Jeffrey, what's up? And someone saying, what up?
Oh, Gayton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good thing for him to realize, like, you are teaching, like, hey, you know, you might get told no, but at the end of the day, like, you're if you don't ask and you're not clear about it, you're definitely not gonna.
Yeah. I'm trying to instill them, like, get past this little fear of being afraid that daddy's going to be mad that you ask him a question. And just ask a direct question, be clear about it. And it's okay. Don't stop being so timid about
Yeah.
it. Of
Legit, I don't like.
course, for all I know, I might be raising some little sociopaths. I don't know. I'm not doing everything wrong.
I doubt that. don't think that's the case.
They end up being little murderers.
Oh my gosh.
Again.
Wouldn't that be something?
Ugh. Like, where did I go wrong?
I know. That's what my mom said when she found out I was pregnant and not married.
Wait, what?
That's what my mom said to me when she found out I was pregnant.
Oh.
Oh.
Why did I raise a little whore? You're like, wait, Ma.
Like, hold on a second. First off, you didn't raise a whore. I just turned myself into one.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I made my own whore choices.
Yeah.
Check from that kind of like.
Let me own it. Don't take that from me. Funny, Jess. Oh, man. Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a whore. I just kind of.
Oh, you've. Okay. No comment.
Not to the level I want.
Oh my gosh.
Stats are not holding up. I need to get those numbers up.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do this.
Oh boy.
Somebody's asking if you're watching White Lotus.
I'm watching White Lotus. I have seen the first season, I think, and then part of the second season, but haven't done I know there's a new one and I haven't finished the other one, so that show is wild. Have you watched it?
No, not at all.
Oh.
It's like, oh yeah, Rob, I forgot you're lame.
There's a lot of horror-ish scenes in that.
Oh well now.
I was like, well, I guess I will.
I guess I'll go look it up. I'll be right back. We'll do it right now.
Rob just disappears for a while.
I'm back, all out of breath.
Oh my gosh. Oh, anyway, back to paint or back to art.
Yeah. Anyway, I forgot where I was at. Now I gotta
It's been like
back to reality now.
30 seconds, Rob. Where have you been?
It doesn't when I'm working on my best time. It's like an Olympic sport.
Oh my gosh. I want to holiday in White Lotus hotels. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I don't know, because, there's some death and stuff, if I remember right. There's some murders.
Murders.
But they do look nice. Murder? Isn't there murders? I can't remember now if there is or not. I can't remember if that's the premise, or I thought it was that there was a murder, but maybe I'm wrong. Ugh, this is gonna take me a hot minute. That's looking pretty good. Get some figures up there.
Throwing some figures down.
Yeah.
Start with the basically hot naked girl body, and then I'll move on to a big muscular guy body.
It's a classic.
I know. Very, very simple.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Family all upstairs, just chilling out.
Yeah, I think they're watching one of the old school Ninja Turtles movies right now.
Oh, there's only one good one.
I don't know. It's like a 90s. It's one of the ones from the 90s. I don't know. I think it's the first one, maybe.
How do you not know about the first one and how awesome it is, Jessica?
Okay, here's the thing. I have seen it. Okay, I've seen all of them. I have a lot of children, and most of them are boys. But I was not. I just don't remember that well. I just.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that you're disappointed in me. I can hear it
All
in
of
your
it's
voice.
left today, but we'll be talking about this another time.
We'll be talking about this.
The review's coming up, Missy. I'm going to document this.
Uh, sorry. I know. Marcus is loved Ninja Turtles as a little boy. It was like his favorite.
Hell yeah.
And I think he makes him very happy when any of the other kids get into it.
My oldest boy the other day, about a month ago, he's like, Dad, because I'm always like trying to get him to watch movies with me.
Hmm.
I force him, like, here, you're going to watch this movie with me. I think you'll like it. Other
Yeah.
times, I just turn something on to see that hopefully he'll be into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I, we're like out driving around and we're heading home. He's like, Dad, when we get home, will you watch Pacific Rim with me?
Oh,
The movie with the giant punching robots and
I know about that one too.
and it wasn't just that he wanted to watch it. He said, can we watch it? Will you watch it with me? I was like,
Aw,
oh. I said, fuck no. No, of course I said.
you bitch.
I said, of course we can. You know what I mean? I wasn't necessarily in the mood to watch it. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, but and he just sat down. Right, he flops his ass right next to me, and he just had a great time. And we're done with it. And he's like, "Yeah, that's my favorite movie ever. I think it's so great." I'm like, "I know it's pretty awesome, right?" He starts telling me about all the robots and shit, and I'm like, "Oh,
That's cute.
this is what I want from my sons to sit down and nerd out over stupid shit like this."
That's stupid. Nothing wrong with specific round.
Oh, it's stupid, but also awesome.
For a long time, that theme really helped me through my having to clean the house. That and the Marvel's Avengers theme. I just would play that over and over again while I cleaned my house.
Heck yeah.
Wait, my beach picture or painting, Jeffrey? You live in Australia though, so you guys you know beach better than I do. I don't live anywhere near the ocean. You said it was on the news?
He's like, you're stealing it from Australia, aren't you?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Here we go with Rob's Australian accent. We all
Man.
know I'm just super jealous of.
Yeah, I forgot your absolute disgust over it. You're like, oh, here we go. You're like, I keep telling myself I'm never gonna do this live streaming with him again. Then he does that shit.
And I remember why. Yeah, I don't know. Pacific Rim sounds like a porno. Oh, Mr. D Man. Why'd you have to go there? But also, yes.
It would be not Pacific Rim, it would be specific rim job.
Gosh.
Hey, hey, there's an audience who would laugh at that.
There is. There is. You know what? It's fairly clever.
Thank you. I appreciate that you brought yourself to like, all right, I have to acknowledge it. All right, that was okay.
Hey, I've been gaming a little bit more, and being in Discord with my husband and his gaming buddies. And let me tell you something, that is the tamest thing I've heard as of
I'm
recent.
sure. I'm sure.
I'm like, what is happening in this? And it just keeps going. It's like they have an endless trove of just treasures just like that one.
They're corrupting your sweet, innocent little self.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good, Jeffrey. Yeah, let me know. Um, also send it to me on Instagram if you want. I'm Blackbird Ink Art, Blackbird Art, yeah,
You
something like
don't
that.
even know.
I'm friends with Rob. Find me that way. I was gonna say, yeah. See, I don't even know what's going on in the world. There's a cyclone going on. There's like a cyclone in.
Just yeah, Australia's looking to get hit with something or other.
Oh man, that sucks. Are you gonna be pretty close to it then, Jeffrey? Oh man, it's too much paint.
Hope Australia gets wiped off the map. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Why would you say something like
That
that?
to be controversial.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's not controversial. You just a douche.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's okay. There are parts of our country I sometimes think would be okay if it got wiped off the map too. Maybe that's controversial.
There's enough controversial.
Thanks, Gaten. He tags my Instagram. I'm never on there anymore. I need to do something with my social media. I've been lazy. Was that a Simpsons reference, Rob?
I don't know what part.
I say, it's not for me because I don't watch The Simpsons, so
Not at all.
I'm too classy for that shit.
Wow. I'm gonna ban you.
I've seen it, and when I was a kid. What's the little girl's name?
Maggie.
Maggie? Is it Maggie?
Well, there's Maggie's the baby.
Yeah, the baby. Okay. I had a Maggie doll that I carried around everywhere. I didn't know it was a Simpsons doll, but I thought her little spike head was the coolest thing. And so I think my parents must have watched it because quite often I try to watch it because my kids are really into The Simpsons. I guess it's really popular, like kind of all the kids like watching it. I don't know. Anyway, and I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is. I know. Everybody says I'm weird for it.
That is true.
Although I'm not a Ryan Reynolds fan, and look what's become of him. So I just want to put that out there. Huh?
Wow.
I feel like it's really come to fruition. My feelings about Ryan Reynolds were dead on. Actually, that's not true because I always thought he was cool. I just didn't think he was funny.
Jessica's got all kinds of opinions.
I do. And nobody gives a shit.
I
Which
will
is,
pretend that I do.
yeah, I know you kind of pretend. You're like, okay,
Girl.
all right, whatever you say. He married a winner. Yeah, clearly. She's a something. Although I guess who knows? Innocent till proven guilty.
Trust anyone these days.
It's true. Very true.
I haven't known that you're like not a Simpsons fan, like even a little bit. Like I don't watch it like whenever I go back to The Simpsons and think of stuff about it that I like, it's always like the first 6 or 7 years where the gold is. It's like the
Yeah.
stuff. It's so great. And then
Hmm.
nothing in the last fucking 2 decades or however long it's still been on. I think about those first couple of years. It was so brilliant.
I know. And you know what? It's not that I never laughed at The Simpsons or had a moment where I thought it was funny, but I just, I won't, like, if someone says, oh, that's from The Simpsons, I won't know. I won't know.
I
You know.
just have to keep reminding myself that no one's perfect.
Especially not me. I mean, that's like just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to my imperfections.
I, however, on the other hand,
I know.
could not be any more flawless if I tried. I'm like Mary Poppins, practically perfect.
Perfect in every way.
And you knew that one.
I do like Mary Poppins.
Great show. I remember like watching it as a kid, loving it, and then years and years went by. And I watched it as like a young adult again for the first time, and I was like, "This is really cute." I still love this.
Yeah, I know. As
Show.
a like, why do I like this so much? But I really do.
What's crazy is what's the male actor that was in that show,
Dick Van Dyke,
and still alive.
dude, he's a just national treasure.
He is. He's like, it looks like a walking corpse. He's like almost 100 years old, and somehow he's still alive, which I'm glad for. But
He did all kinds of stuff too. I mean, I don't know if you've ever watched like his like Dick Van Dyke show. That was really funny and good. Mary Tyler Moore and he did the one when he was older. What was that one? The murder mystery show. What's it called?
Murder mystery.
He solved mysteries. What was that one called? Someone help me out here.
Jeffrey, your favorite is the one where Homer works for the supervillain. That is like one of the best ones ever. It's so great. Absolutely.
Well, I was with you on that.
I like the Mr. Plow episode. Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow. It's literally the song he sings.
All right. Maybe I'll have to try it again. Maybe I'm not giving it a fair enough shot.
It's the episode where Homer says one of my favorite lines. He's like, all right, Marge, if you're going to get mad at me every time I do something stupid, then I guess I'll just stop doing stupid things. She's like, good. And then he turns and whacks his head right into a car door.
Oh my gosh.
Time I do something stupid, then I guess I'll stop doing stupid things.
That's great. Oh man. Oh, my computer turned off. Why does it keep doing that? It hates me. Diagnosis murder. Thank you. And you have all of the answers, Jeff. Yeah, diagnosis murder. I guess maybe he was a doctor in that one now that Now that I hear the title again. Yeah, that was the name of it, and it was actually pretty good. I used to stay up with my mom and watch that one sometimes. When I was a kid, I feel like that was like the best feeling is when my mom would say, "You can stay up and watch one episode of a show."
Like, hell yeah.
Yep, pretty much. That's how it was. If I knew, I would feel so excited if my dad said I could stay up and watch Star Trek with him.
Yeah.
But my dad now, here's the thing. My dad liked all of them, but it was almost always his preference was the originals.
Like the original 60s show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're a little bit, like if you didn't grow up with them, or like in the era that they were in, like,
Yeah.
that it's easier to get into the next generation or something like that.
Yeah.
Keep hoping one of my boys will show an interest in that show. So I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna show you a whole new world, son. Oh,
I wish my kids did not have any interest in Star Trek at all.
they'll get fucked.
No. Although, I don't know. Maybe I'll try again. It's been a while since I've attempted to.
My boy's become such a like little burgeoning scientist. Like he's always talking about the planets and the
Yeah.
moon and the cycles of the. I'm like, oh yeah, son, there's a show that you'd love where these guys go adventuring around space and run into all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah.
You should give this a shot one of these days. Don't tell your mom. Your mom fucking hates it. Oh,
How come she hates it?
she hates it with the burning fury of 1,000 exploding Star Trek suns.
Wow.
I'm
That
not even joking.
I just don't understand. My children hate all the shows I love too. Uh yeah.
And my little boy's like, Dad, watch this. This is Mr. Beast. Watch what he does here. I'm like, oh,
Okay, actually though, I watched Mr. Beast games. That was pretty fun to watch.
I've heard that was.
Yeah, it was actually I
Oh,
watched.
guy. It's just you kind of he's got like the most douchebaggy smile I've ever seen in my life. Like I just want to fucking punch him just based on his smile alone. But I would gladly take his money. And I like that he gives a lot of it away. So I'm kind of okay with all that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. He does do all that.
So
Yeah, Mr. Beast games was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be to watch. So
yeah, where they have like an option, like somebody will be like alone and they tell him like, okay, you can have all of this money, but that would mean everyone else doesn't get any of it. So what are you going to choose? So they're like faced with a moral dilemma. Do they take like $1 million instead of splitting it up and giving everybody a little?
they did have one like that.
Yeah.
There was a couple of different. I mean, it lasted like what 10 episodes or something, and they like somebody won a whole island, but they didn't win the whole thing. He just had it as kind of like a side quest. Um, Stuff like that.
Right.
And then there was some physical challenge ones, but a lot of it was like strategic and like how people liked you, and yeah, it wasn't too shabby. Eh. My husband the other day was like, you know what I've never seen? The last Star Wars movie. I was like, oh, I was like, we can watch Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
He's like,
he did not.
no.
That's not the one he meant, right?
He goes, I've seen Return of the Jedi. I'm married to you.
Right.
He said the new Rise of Skywalker or something. I was like, ugh. All the kids wanted to watch it too, and I was like, "All right." And the whole time I'm just sighing over everything. He's like, "Okay, if you're gonna be like that, we're just not gonna watch." I'm like, "No, please go ahead. I'll try to be quiet." Then he fell asleep during it. I'm like, "That's exactly the
Right.
way I feel."
Yeah. Remember when there were horses racing along the top of a stupid fucking spaceship?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Uh,
And what's funny is I hadn't remembered that. Then I had to relive it.
well,
So then I had to take up more of my brain space for things I would prefer, for other things I would prefer to have there instead. But it's there.
you know what you could have done is while they were watching that, could have had my comic book.
Oh, you know what? I could have done that. That's true.
I love how you're like, oh yeah, 100% could have.
I know. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. And now I'm like, where did I put my? Oh, it's right here. It's literally right here in front of me. I'm like, oh shit, where did I put that?
All right, you know I love you. It's all good.
I need to finish. I need to finish it. And I know. I truthfully have to get. You know what you should do? Set a reminder that every time you get, you clock out from work. I don't know if you clock out or not. You might be your salary. But every time you're leaving work,
I clock out.
you clock out, and that's like a reminder to text me and say, "Read my damn book," and then I'll be like, "Oh shit, sure, I'll do that right now."
Treat it like the Bible. Read one page a day.
Exactly.
And then you just send me back a thumbs up, like, yeah, sure, I will.
Yeah, Kate. Basically, basically. She goes, "Are those like the equivalent of the last season of Game of Thrones?" Yep. Just stanky. Just the worst. And I obviously apologize to anybody who likes those movies who might be on here.
I'm sorry, what?
I do apologize to anybody who may enjoy those movies.
I think there's many people on here that are like, you know, it's my jam. Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that there's many, but if there is, I do apologize. I get that everybody has their own feelings on things, even if they're wrong. Like me and The Simpsons.
You're kind of you're like the Force. You're balancing yourself out. You may not might be all about the Simpsons, but you have the right attitude about Star Wars. So
That's fair. That's fair.
I was taking points from you, but now I'm returning some. So
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
perfect balance is all things should be.
That means a lot to me.
You're like, I was going to lose a lot of sleep over that, Rob, let me tell you.
Well, to be honest, like the raw points do mean I might stay up at night worried about it.
How do I fix this?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, just don't worry about it. Right. Oh, earth salt. Got it.
Easy.
I fell into a comfortable sleep and haven't thought about it since.
Uh, hmm. Kate has me reading the Hunger Games books. I don't know if you watched those movies or read those or not.
I've seen all the movies. Not read the books because I'm not a teenage girl.
Okay. They're actually hella good for being young adult.
I actually have no problem with them. I just nothing that interests me.
I had seen the movies. They weren't like my favorite movies I'd ever seen. And then I tried to read the book like once before, but it just nah. But then I finished all the books from the other author I was reading, and I thought, well, she got them for me as an early birthday present, and I started on them, and now I'm just flying through them. They're so good.
Your balls deep in them.
Yeah, I was like so super surprised. I thought, I should be reading Rob's comic book right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I see. You're actually like credited in the book. There's a picture of you and everything.
I know, I know.
I read that. That's okay. But to be fair, when you get to pick, real authors and like my dumbass, it, it all kind of like, oh, right.
Now you make me feel bad.
Go read a real book.
If I'm being honest, I just think that I get into a series and I kind of get into a zone where that's what I'm into the moment. Like, oh, I'm into reading fantasy or dystopian and so I kind of just get into a mode of where that's what I want to read. That's what I feel like reading it. If it makes you feel any better, my brother-in-law, I keep promising and promising and promising him I'm gonna read these mangas he's been talking about. And then every time he asks me, I'm like, no, I haven't read them yet. He's like, why? They're free online.
Is it a series he's just recommending that's awesome, or stuff
Yeah.
made?
That's what?
Is it? It was just ask if it's something he made or just stuff he's recommending.
Oh, it's something he's recommending.
Okay, okay.
And but yeah, he just and then yeah, I don't know. Because I'm just the worst and I'm hearing myself.
We're like every possible juncture.
Yeah, but Rob's book has pictures. That's a good argument, Gaten.
Perhaps book has pictures.
Um, I'd have to look up the name of it on my phone, which I'm using at the moment. I'm trying to think if I can remember the actual. Well, one of them he wants me to read is he wants me to read the manga for Solo Leveling. I think is one of them. Not watch the. Not that the thing was bad, but not the show was bad. But I can't remember the other one that he suggested. I'm trying to think what the name of it is, and it's lost me a moment. They need to mix White Lotus and Star Wars for me to enjoy now. I would 100% watch that. Stay at the Death Star. That goes wrong. That's actually great. A teenage girl or a middle-aged woman. Whoa, I'm not quite middle-aged now. Okay, I've got a few years. Now. Mr. D man. Some weird lady at the library asked me if I wanted to do art for self-help books. That's interesting. Guessing it was a no.
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Okay. So I don't know what you have, Gaten. They have, I believe, the first season on Netflix. I'm almost positive the first season and maybe the second season is now on Netflix for Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it wasn't the entire series. Otherwise, I just mooch off my brother-in-law's Crunchyroll, truthfully. I'm trying to think if there's another spot that I've seen it at because I've seen it. I feel like a few places, streaming wise. I love that one. I'm super basic though when it comes to that manga or that anime, I guess. I'm one of your basic Gojo girlies.
I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, man, that's we don't want you to know.
Oh, that's just that anime character that I like so much.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah.
Fucking
Now I remember.
proud of that.
It's actually my brother-in-law, Mike, the same one who's trying to get me to I've said I've wanted to be fair. It's not like he's like pushing the issue, but read the mangas is the same one who actually got introduced me to Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was like hooked.
The animated shit that I'm actually watching. Is anybody watching Invincible? Because man, is it good.
What is it?
Invincible?
Invincible.
You don't even know what it is?
It sounds familiar, and I'm not just saying that.
Uh,
My Hero Academia. I think it's my son who has a My Hero Academia shirt and stuff, but I don't know if I don't think I've ever watched any of it. What's Invincible about?
it's just this animated series on, I think it's Amazon, that's based on a comic series, like so many things. But the unique thing is they are adhering to the stories from the comic because it was written by one writer and essentially drawn by one artist. Like 100% accurate, but it's mostly accurate. And so there's one creative vision, and it went for 100 and whatever issues, and then they stopped. So now they've got one very specific lore. It's not like X-Men where they've been around for decades and been revamped and redone. There's one storyline, and they are sticking to the storyline that
Oh,
was in
that's
the
awesome.
comics, like exactly. And they have to adapt it and make some variations and changes here and there, but really well written. It's hyper violent in a way you're like, holy shit.
No.
And knowing what's coming in the comic, because I collected the whole thing, I'm like, people are excited for the shit they've seen. I'm like, ooh, you haven't seen nothing yet, man. The stuff that's coming, it's gonna blow people's minds.
Dang. I'll have to watch it.
Because it kind of starts out like the first episode. It's like, all right, it's fine. It's kind of like an animated thing. It's superheroes. All right, we've seen this. But then it does a couple things. We're like, whoa, was not expecting that. Holy shit. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. We're just getting started, y'all. I recommend it.
But not for the children.
I mean, I would. There's no sex in it. There's some language, but it's cartoons like violently punching brains in. Like it's bloody. So it depends on what age your kids are and what you are kind of comfortable with them wanting to see.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. Watched Arcane for a while, but that one got a little bit violent for my like 3-year-old to watch. Um, I guess I'm watching like Cyberpunk, that anime on Netflix. That one's been okay so far. I don't know, I haven't watching much. I've been watching the old Ruby Frankie thing on on what is it? On Netflix.
What is that?
Ruby Frankie, the devil inside or whatever. You know who Ruby Frankie is, right?
No.
Okay, we live in Utah. My husband didn't know either. She's the crazy lady who is in, I think she might have already been sentenced or in prison. I don't know. But she's the one that was like abusing her kids and like using weights and stuff to hold them down, tie them down. And she was like kind of like a crazy, she's Mormon, but then she got into like that one therapy chicks cult thing too. And I don't know if,
Well, I am not keeping up on current Utah events.
yeah, it was like a big deal out here. I mean, because she was in Springville, and then I think she moved, or yeah, I think she moved to Springville, and then she maybe moved. I haven't finished this to old Irvin, Irving, kind of down by Saint Jeezy.
Yeah, no, I
Okay, well, Gate knows who I'm talking about.
literally have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm
Dude, it's wild. It's just wild. She's like a heavy, big influencer. That's what the whole thing is for a long time. 8 Passengers, I think is the name of her YouTube channel. And she like blew up as a mom influencer. There's 6 kids and all the moms in Utah, or I think just around the country, but because she was a Utah mom, she's popular out here. I remember knowing who she was, but I didn't really watch her stuff. Anyway, that's what I've been watching. Just to see drama unfold. I am so not sure where all my colors went. I have no white left. I mean, I have white, but no new white. And no new black. That's that. Oh, wow. Those look really good. You really nailed those.
Ron, people jumping around looking like a bunch of douchebags.
Is that what it is? Yeah, Ruby Frankie. Yeah, St. Jeezy. I always say that because St. George is the name of the place. I actually used to live there, and where where she was living towards the end was right where that. And I just say St. Jeezy because I think it's funny sounding. Yeah, yeah. One of the kids got out and ran to the neighbors, and he's all so sweet, and it's so sad. He's like, "Can you do me a favor?" And the neighbor's like talking to him on Ring, I think, or something. And the neighbor's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Just take me to the police station, please." And it's just terrible.
Wow.
Hmm.
Look this up and have some idea what the hell's going on in the world.
Did you look it up?
I'm gonna have to though.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
I
Yeah,
will.
yeah. My husband didn't know either. I have no clue who you're talking. Yeah, I'm like, okay, but he would know what was going on, with Russia or something, but he wouldn't know. I guess that's fair though. He's like, you can say the Ruby Frankie, I just don't know who that is. Oh man. I don't care about Russia or the Ukraine. All right, fair enough.
Had enough of all
Yeah.
that too.
What'd you say?
I've kind of had enough of all that shit too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yes, yes, exactly. It was wild. They were like living in like almost like a prepper type dungeon type thing in the therapist's house. Ruby Frank, he had just like kind of the I don't know. I haven't finished the actual documentary, but I know that it was like her husband, she kicked her husband out of the house, and it's crazy. Crazy. House is like a mansion. Which ain't cheap because it was in Utah.
Right?
Honestly, a cardboard box on the street is still $600,000. I love when they say starter homes starting in Utah at 350. 350 my ass. That's
Yeah. That's like the concrete pad you put down first.
exactly. No one's buying that shit. I mean, people are buying it, but they're not buying it, if you know what I mean. Hmm. Right, he didn't know. Like, stop it right now. You knew. Get out of here. I hate that. I hate that. I'm like, you knew. You just maybe you turned a blind eye to it, but that's, in my opinion, it's just as bad.
Who didn't know what now?
The dad. He was
Oh,
like, "Oh, I had no idea. The children were being beat to shit all the time."
and the way you're describing the whole thing, it's like that's literally the worst kind of human being. Is like to be like out there talking about all this, like put up this fake front of what an amazing person they are, but then they're doing this like unbelievable horrific shit. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of sociopathic monster are you?
Mhm.
You know? Oh, like
Yep.
no sympathy from me.
Yep. I mean, yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I feel the same exact way. Like I was watching the documentary and he's talking about how, oh, I had, I mean, I knew she was like yelling at him and I had no idea. Like you just didn't want to.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't finished it, so I don't know if they ever say he did do anything. From what I understand, he's never. The kids have never implicated him in any of the abuse, but he knew it was happening.
Nasty, though. Yeah.
It's just so crazy to me. But yeah, exactly. I I don't know. You actually, I feel like you hear a lot now of it being found out that these TikTokers and people are influencers or these type of people because they're trying to be perfection. They're trying to be, oh, we're the perfect family, and you're just not.
Yeah. They're like, I do a lot of drugs on the side just to keep up with all of this.
Yeah.
That's I think there's a lot of like Utah's famous for like Utah moms like all being on meth a lot.
Okay. My sister and I had this conversation today, and I'm like, there is something about, and this is coming from somebody who raised Mormon, still Mormon, who there is something about the culture in Utah where Mormons are concerned. This is my opinion. This isn't me bashing all Mormons. Just it's not right. There's something messed up about the way it's just the culture around it. I feel like so many are so focused on looking a certain way, being a certain way. They all look alike, they all dress alike, they all like they're so depressed when they can't be perfect. Everything has to be just so, and they're super judgy, but then half the time they're just putting on a facade too. It's something like I've never seen before in my life. Again, raised Mormon, but not in Utah. I was raised Mormon in Indiana, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like that out there. It's just completely different. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. There's this, I'm not Mormon. I never was raised one, but I've lived here my entire life and I can see what you're talking about. There's this perfect life that everyone's kind of expected to be living, but
Hmm.
people live in so much goddamn denial and they don't want to dare to vocalize their failings or their missteps or their
Hmm.
feeling like maybe I don't agree with this and I don't want to do this, but I'm just going to pretend like it's okay. Or I don't know. Like you said, there's something off,
Yeah, it's
and
not right. It's
it
not right.
manifests as some fucked up shit.
What?
It manifests as some fucked up shit in some people.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's an excuse, but I mean, I think you find that in all kinds of different, cultures. You might find it specifically, I feel like in a lot of organized religion. Again, not bashing religion. I am religious, but I do think that there's something about it's just weird. Again, I moved out here and I was like, what is going on? It's
Doc.
yeah, I was like, this is different. Like I've never lived, anywhere where people act this way. I remember going to church for the first time, not for the first time ever, but out here, and I wore like a fairly short skirt. I mean, it was probably a little bit above my knee and um, a little tight and a little bit of a tight shirt. But I was, 20 or something. I wasn't really.
So you were looking all hot and shit.
And I remember, and I always wore my favorite thing was like I always wore those thigh high boots. I loved those. And I went to church, and I just remember what
Boy, did you do that wrong.
I got the weirdest looks, but if I had gone to my same exact denomination that I had grown up in Indiana, no one would have batted an eye, you know? Everybody just, you wore what you wanted and people didn't care that much, We had bigger issues than what your clothes were. And I feel like the culture is different here. I feel like it's all about how you look and how you're perceived. And so when I'm watching this, I'm like, yep, yep, yep. I see it. I see this, like, I don't know, these issues.
I would have loved to have seen you stroll into a, because just based on you describing what you were wearing and what you were doing, I'm like, ooh, that's not going to go over well with these people here. That's not modest enough. You got high boots and
Which is funny because my own mother,
or
super, super LDS woman, would have allowed that outfit. It's just so different, the culture. But yet I feel like they're so hypocritical. Maybe I'm just the worst. I'm sitting here like bashing these people. Again, this isn't me bashing anybody's church or religion or anything like that. I have a strong conviction in in certain topics regarding religion. But I think sometimes organized religion really, really misses the mark. And I feel like this is one of those times where out here in Utah, something isn't quite right.
what you were doing is you were letting intrusive thoughts fill up the heads of young men in the church, and they couldn't focus.
I guess that sounds about right. That sounds like something I would have done.
You're like, oh, I didn't do it intentionally, but now it'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that intentionally now.
Chuck says, if God required a uniform to attend church, he would have issued you one.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I mean, yeah. I mean, we used to have people who attend church in blue jeans, people who attend church in suits, people attend church in, I guess, really slutty outfits like I was wearing that I didn't think was slutty. And at the end of the day, I think isn't the fact that you're there what's important? Doesn't that mean something? Not how you look. I don't know. It's interesting.
Just because your brain is full of sin corrupted by years of exposure to heavy metal music.
That's what it is. Damn it. Oh, it's all coming clear to me now. Yeah, I know. I remember I once fell asleep I was listening to some Metallica when I was a teenager, and I had fallen asleep and on the floor next to my radio because I didn't have any CDs or anything, so I just listened to the rock station on my radio, and I was awoken by my mom, and she was livid about it, about me listening to that station, and how it probably was going to lead to me doing drugs. And maybe it did. I don't know.
Maybe it did. I don't know. Maybe she was right. That being said,
Now that I look back, Possibly. I'm just kidding.
I think it's that kind of attitude that will actually push a kid to do the thing that they're saying that they would do. Just let a kid just listen to some fucking music. It's an outlet. It's something to kind of let them kind of themselves. But when you're like, that's evil shit, you just, you deny it to them. I don't know. I feel like you can be actually creating the problem you're trying to.
100%. I would say that just makes it more enticing, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I never sought to be a bad child or anything. I really didn't, but I
But,
guess it just ended up that way.
there's somebody out there somewhere that's like, dude, years ago, this chick rolled into the church. She was wearing this shortest skirt I'd ever seen in my life and had these boots that I was just staring at. And I had these thoughts and I had to
Probably.
repent my sins. And then secretly, he's like, that shit was awesome.
Probably, you know.
He's proud of that.
I probably did somebody it. That was really difficult. I feel like coming to Utah and seeing that, dealing with that kind of things I just never would have thought about.
Yeah.
Oh, well, though, my rant is over. If they would have done that a while back, I would have been a Mormon. Done what? Dude, they got ads on YouTube with these cute Mr. D met young girls wanting, right, sister missionaries.
Oh, shit. This is who's in that church. And there's often a lot of young, because they're usually like young Christian chicks that haven't been all fucked up and drugged out and, so it tends to, right?
Yeah, true. Yep.
But,
He says there's a possibility he's going to hell. I think there's a possibility, we're all going to hell. Maybe we're in hell now.
maybe.
No, boy.
Shit. I just got a text message I got to check right quick.
Oh, come on.
Check it.
Always with the text messages. Like he does it all the time.
All right. I'm back. All right. You can still hear me? Am I good?
Yes, you are good.
What's that splashing sound I just heard?
Okay, that is me shaking up some paint. Don't.
Don't. What?
I don't know. I was gonna say something about, you know what? I need to clean up.
I heard like a sloppy, slapping, splishy, splashy sound. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just paint, Rob.
Okay. Just let my imagination help with it.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
I know you. Speaking of shows that I have been thinking about randomly, did you ever watch the show Perfect Strangers?
1,000 years ago, yeah. Like the original?
Yeah, with Balky and Larry.
Yeah.
I used to love that show when I was a
A
kid.
random thing to come up out of nowhere.
Uh, it was. I don't even know why that came to my mind. I used to love that show though. I remember that show. Does it count that I later married? So wait, I'm like way behind on this conversation. I'm looking on my phone app. They're talking about preachers or something like priests and stuff that are.
Be corrupted. Yeah. Everyone can be.
We're all human. nobody is beyond. Well, okay, I wouldn't say nobody is beyond it. I don't think that everybody, would do some of the terrible things that some people do. But put in powerful positions, there isn't a soul out there who is beyond. Doesn't need to watch themselves,
Yep.
no matter what your title is. Hope this water looks okay. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start with water unless I had some reference to look at. But even still, like that whole painting thing is just like I hope you got it figured out. Right? I can't offer any advice.
No worries.
I got nothing.
No worries. I mean, I think that, like palm trees and stuff, I feel like I can do those. And water's just, it either looks like it's water or it just doesn't look even close to it. I feel it looks like a 5-year-old's finger painting.
Eh,
Where's Moana, Jess? Moana. Oh, that's a good movie.
I haven't seen the new one. I think it made a lot of money, but I don't know if it was like actually considered any good. I don't know. I'm curious. I like the first one.
So my husband took my 3-year-old to see it in theaters. From what I remember, he said he didn't think the music was as good, but he thought it was pretty good. We loved the soundtrack to the first one, so that's probably.
And aren't they filming like a live action version of it with The Rock playing Maui?
They are?
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that. That is one of those Disney movies I actually loved. I'm not gonna lie. One of the newer ones. Was not too shabby. I also finally watched Inside Out 2.
that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It was really good, I thought.
Do you like relate with the teenage girl shit?
Um, yeah, for sure. I mean, what she's going through with like the popular girls and wanting to be like the older, more mature girls, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that was well thought out myself.
Huh. You know what's funny is I took my boys to see that. I don't know if I told you, but um if there well there's so you haven't seen it, right? Or did you said you did see it?
Inside Out 2?
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw
you did see it. Okay. A lot of thoughts going through my head. The part where I guess that there's the girl, she was doing like a fist bump to her friends. It was like a thing that she was doing in that movie, and it was like this cute thing. And so at the end, there's no spoilers. Um, like there was like this emotional moment to everything, and I noticed that my
it.
old boy was watching it, and he was kind of, I think he had the beginnings of almost some tears in his eyes, and my youngest
Oh,
boy was digging it. So just right there at this like emotional moment at the end, I put my fist over to my oldest son to do like a fist bump. Well,
oh,
I was sitting in the middle; they were both on each side. So I put my fists out to both sides, and they both fist bumped me at the same time. It was like this really cute, like sweet little moment with my boys. I'm like, oh, they're so fucking cute. They're like they're feeling the emotion of the moment, and I like that.
yeah,
It's really cute.
that is cute. That is cool. See, those are the things I think they'll remember too. Just I don't know, dad was that, you know, intuitive that he noticed that. Someone please tell Gayton he can unmute it now.
Yeah, we weren't spoiling anything. There was no spoilers there. Okay, so anyway, so Riley dies in a car crash.
So this is gonna sound really, super okay. So I don't know if you remember the High School Musical craze that was going on. But when I was a teenager, High School Musical was really, really popular. And my sister and I loved it. And I remember that my dad, when the third one came out, I think I might have even had already moved back to Utah by then, by the time the third one came out. But I was out visiting, and my dad got us tickets, and he took us girls to that movie, to the third one. And my dad, he likes chick flicks and stuff sometimes. But I remember thinking, I don't remember anything about that movie. Literally nothing. But my dad making that effort, watching the whole thing, then talking about it with us, went on the car ride back to the house, made my whole trip. Even though I know it wasn't, really a dad movie.
But he made you feel special because he was
Yeah.
special to you. So
Yep. That's how I felt. I just remember that to this day.
I try to keep in mind things like that with my own boys and like, what can I do or say that might make this moment stick in their mind, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's like what you were saying. I won't say anything else, but I think that's definitely one of those things. Someone tell Gayton that we're not spoiling it anymore. I can't type. Man, I wish I was a father. Yeah, I've never been a father.
You could identify as one and just say you are.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Fathers kind of get a bad rap. No, I'm just kidding. I just mean parenting. It's hard, but it's fairly rewarding.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's 100%. You go through all the pain in the ass shit, but then you're like, you know what? Little monsters. It's worth it.
Yep. I'm gonna have to type in here because no one's told me. I wonder if this is for real.
To someone saying to he's a
Oh, I can't when I'm on a live, I guess. Maybe I can type it in over
bunch of bums, he said.
here. Oh man. There was no spoilers. No spoilers.
Spoilers.
There was a little bit of spoilers.
Spoiler. I said there was an emotional moment at the end. That's every movie, especially a Pixar movie. Go and find his Discord link on your own next time. Oh, Gaten, he's throwing down the. He's like, I'll show you.
Oh man. I was trying to tell them someone to type and tell you. I swear. I don't play games. You know what? One thing my mother-in-law does, she will not watch a movie trailer
Yeah,
if she can help it because she's like, I feel like they spoil the movies and I just don't want to see the movie trailer. If it sounds like something I want to see, if it has actors I like, I'm going to go see it. But she does hates any type of spoilers. To be fair, I don't like spoilers either. Like, I will not, um I will get pretty annoyed if I get spoilers for books or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
My brother John, he watched trailers like the rest of us for ever and ever. But when that first Transformers movie, like in 2007, was coming out, he avoided trailers. He's like, I don't want to see anything. I want to see it fresh. I want to just be blown away. We're even in a theater, like sitting down with the lights off, and the trailer for that movie started, like the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. He got up and left the theater, like
Oh
he
my god.
to it. I'm like,
Hey, like Gayton said, some people don't play, man. Some people don't play.
yeah.
He says, "You scratch my back, I got yours. Stab me, I take your head." Oh shit.
Damn, son.
Uh, just kidding, people. Don't get scared. Ooh, okay. You know what? No more spoilers. He's got a good point, and I am a little scared. So, no more of that. How you liking that? What did you say this was for? Is this for anything in particular, or was it just for practice?
I didn't say it was for anything. It's just because
All right, that's why I was asking.
it's the characters or some of them in the book I'm drawing, but it's just drawing them. I didn't have anything kind of ready to go. I should have finished up this page I was working on last night, right here. I mean, it's mostly done, but it's not completely done. I gotta kind of
Mhm.
basically the background, but I bet this part in this book where I have this big, like, monstrous, giant, furry creature and he walks around without any clothes, so his dick is flopping around.
You nasty.
It is, and that's part of the entertainment factor.
All right, I'm back. What did I miss? Well, things got crazy, Jeff.
Wow, we could never speak of the things we just got.
Gayton is gonna probably kill us in our sleep. Maybe. I don't know. He's playing nice now, but I don't know if it's what exactly is happening. Do you think art school is a waste of money? Says Wise Man 91. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, I actually did go to art school for a semester. It was actually about the time I met Rob. And I thought I wanted to do like digital art, which is funny because I've never once learned. um, but I don't know. I guess like I would say is that if you're wanting to study art, wanting to learn different types of art, if it's something that I don't think that an art degree, if you're wanting to make money, is going to make you more money. I I think that you will end up I think you can make just as much money without a degree in art.
I think a lot of it has to do. There's a lot of luck involved, like just something catching on and you finding the right place. And you could have a person with a great degree and be an amazing artist and not get
Mhm.
noticed for it. And you could have somebody who's a shit artist, but they just found the right place, the right niche, the right audience, and they take off, and so
That's what's happened with Raw. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
right.
I had to say it. I'm sorry.
Well, you're not wrong.
As it came out of my mouth, I'm like, why are you saying this? Why you were such a rude person for? It's true. I just think that in most cases, unless kind of what Gate was saying, where it's like, oh, you want to study different art or whatever. I think if you want to learn for yourself, nothing's a waste of money. If you learn something, it's not a waste of money. If you feel like you walk away having learned something, feel better about it, more confident, you feel like, you got what you needed out of it. Right? I just don't know that I don't know if arts school would, as far as making money goes. So I guess in that case, like it's never a waste of money if you better yourself. Gaten says, "Oh, I noticed. I have a bachelor's in fine art and graphic design. I went to college for higher education, not trade. There's a difference. You need to know what you want." Okay, I think that's kind of what he's saying, right? Um, he wanted the education that it offered, and I think that's really where you kind of decide whether or not it's worth it to you. Uh, yeah, Chuck's like art school is like any other school. It's all up to you. Fair enough. Gayton said, "I learned what I needed to have a well-rounded education, so I didn't have to rely on art, even though that was my major." So, okay, I see what he's saying. So he got the fine arts degree in and graphic design degree, but he took other classes as well. Adam Brooks says, "You can learn it all on YouTube now." The universe YouTube University.
There's an element because I've never been to any art school, not once, except high school shit. But there's an element to like just being in a room with a bunch of other artists and just everyone working on stuff that I think is
Yeah.
very valuable. And I've never got to experience out of high school art class, but I bet you that that's just being in a room with other people.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I will say, I think that kind of pushed me to. I haven't done anything though with my art, so I guess like my opinion's kind of like, well, what's that opinion about? But um, I do think you're right. I think it was inspiring being in classes. Like we would do projects in which everybody did their own thing and their own take on it, and then kind of like those weekly things we were doing where everybody there was a subject and they had a weekly take, and nobody seemed to come up with the same take, which was really neat. You don't really get that in any other subject, I don't feel like. Uh, yeah, I see what they're saying. How about if you want to do a specific type of art, you do like a trade school degree, I guess, or a trade school for that art.
I guess like somebody was saying, you have to. What do you want to do with your art? Because you're just kind of like producing shit for like commercial purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you have like you're not worried about doing something that's emotionally satisfying. You know, um, I don't know. There's a school. You don't have to like. You don't have to go to damn school to draw comic books, for example. But you can learn something there, but you don't have to have it to get in the field. You just have to be good. But
Yeah.
you just want, if you're comfortable just making corporate, like graphic design bullshit that doesn't mean anything, that's one thing.
Okay. Okay. I wouldn't say that means doesn't mean anything.
I mean, just to you personally, like that's like I'm going to create a logo for a company, and so I'm going to use my artistic ability as opposed to
I see what you're saying. Okay.
you sitting at home creating a painting that is just because you want to do it and you get personal emotional satisfaction out of it. That's
That's true. Jeffrey says you still need Rob's blue pencils to create comic books, though.
it doesn't hurt.
Um,
Adam says, looking forward to seeing some new Chuck Inc. Rob pages. Yeah, you know, Chuck's always been good since we first kind of connected a little over a year ago, but Jesus Lord, it's just like he's like, oh yeah, I'm full steam ahead. I'm just blowing everybody away. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, you are.
always. Well, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna jump off here. Um, take a break from this.
Yeah, it's looking good. I like it.
Thanks. I'm debating. I feel like I don't know. I'm debating. But of course, yours always looks super dynamic and awesome. What can I say? Shocker. Stop. All right. Well, thanks for chatting, everybody. Thanks for listening to my rants, and it's nice seeing everyone. Or I guess I don't see you guys, but chatting with you guys again. That was fun, and doing some art with you, Rob.
Yeah, it's been a minute,
Yeah,
but
awesome. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
yeah, I think I'm gonna jump off to you. I gotta make a phone call actually. So
Ooh, that sounds very like mysterious.
I wish it was cool, but it's not.
You should have just been like, it's very mysterious and let us all wonder.
If you don't hear from me for a week, call the president.
All right. Well, bye. I'll talk to you later.
Uh, All right, guys. Well, I'm a bounce too, so I'll catch you later. Good chat. Nice to have Jessica back for a minute. Thanks, everybody.